The following video has been rated PG-13 for, it's pretty good, if you're 13. Splorin!
Hello my friends, I have a day off of work, so we've come down here to Epcot where it's a little bit quieter than trying to go to the Magic Kingdom in the morning, but I thought today might be a good day to take you around one of the most popular pavilions in the entire World Showcase. And Pavillion, of course, being Irish for Land of Many Breads. Now, I'm not seeing a ton of bread around here, but what I am seeing is a lot of Norwegian people. Join us today as we do just a little explore. The Norwegian Pavilion was recently given a nice little makeover when they added Frozen to the mix. For those of you who don't have kids, Frozen is a traditional Norwegian fable. The Norwegians love the story of Frozen because it talks about their goddess, Princess Alia, and her sister, Queen Elizabeth. And one day, Queen Elizabeth accidentally brings a snowball to life, and this little magical talking snowball kidnaps them both. And well, let's just go through the ride and show you. Frozen Ever After, of course, refers to the fact that inside of here they do mass weddings. This is actually a life-size replica of Dick Van Dyke's house. This area right here is meant to give you the feeling that you are actually waiting in line outside in a small Norwegian village. But don't let your senses fool you. According to several prominent metaphysicists, you don't exist at all. There was a lot of protest about 3 or 4 years ago when the original version of this ride was removed, and it was called Maelstrom. And Maelstrom was a much rougher ride where at the end of the ride you would be sacrificed to Fenris by a group of Vikings. And the family members of the Vikings actually complained quite a bit because the Frozen story, being kinder and gentler, didn't represent Viking life quite as well as the whole wolf eating you thing. Kind of a funny story about that is Disney does not actually take kindly to people fogging up windows at saunas and then writing their names in them. A little bit of an Easter egg for you. When you come to Norway, check out this cabin. The pepper grinders built into each side make it the spiciest pavilion in Epcot. These are actually real Norwegian Viking boats that were unearthed during a renovation in Mexico City in the year 1946, the year of our Lord.
Abracadabra. Abracadabra. Just stop.
Thank you for that. Wow. Kadehim elinde, kara bedenim kızgın kumda, hem de yanar tenim acayip yaz günü.
Well, it's a depressing story and doesn't have much of a happy ending, but you know, a lot of the original European fables kind of went like that, and they're really there to teach you a lesson. Drops you off right here into the gift shop, of course. Now, when this gift store originally opened, They used real swords in here instead of these foam rubber pieces that you see these days. They finally had to get rid of them because they were just too expensive. I don't know about you, but I'm just a little turned on. And there he is, the President of Norway. Here we have some traditional Norwegian treats, Sour Patch Kids. Now, as is the case for most pavilions at one time or another throughout the year, the Norwegian Pavilion is also still under construction. Right here, this is going to open up in about 2 weeks, and this is supposed to be the new Toy Story Land, where you're going to be able to visit Woody and Bot and the kid, Alice, with the riding on the shoe. That one, yeah. Nice to know they're keeping their roots in mind. Freya was one of the female Norwegian gods, or the Norse gods, the Aesir, as they were called back in the day. And of course, Loki was Tom Hiddleston. Also represented are Odin and Thor. Of course, being the Irish god of luck and the Irish god of not so luck. If you're interested in learning just a little bit more about Norwegian mythology, I'm going to invite you to come by the Gods and Vikings house right here in the Stave Church, next to the Running Man, next to the Grass House, next to the Sparse Pine Tree, next to the janitor. Next on our tour of Norway is the Wandering Reindeer. No mere gift store, this is actually a tribute to the 1948 Norwegian bobsled team, who was tragically eaten by a herd of wandering reindeer in 1952. Most people don't realize, but this is what a McDonald's looks like in Norway. Instead of just going up to the counter and ordering your burger and fries, you walk in the door and they just throw pretzels at you. As we make this video, we're currently in the middle of the Flower and Garden Festival for 2018, during which they always have these little pop-up food stores. This one is the Midnarsjønar Bakery, and it's probably the most popular one here in Norway, partially because of its amazing array of cupcakes, and partially for the fact that it's the only one in Norway. Just a little Epcot trivia for you. Out of all the pavilions of all the countries in Epcot, this is the only one that was built at actual life size. A beautiful tribute to the 1984 Miss Norway. Well, I think that's about going to do it for us today from Norway. If you enjoy Norway and you like what you see, I'm going to ask you, go ahead and reach down below and give it a quick subscribe. And don't forget, of course, to join us next time. When we do, as always, just a little Splorin.